Good stuff. So thanks for inviting us along today. I'm Chris, I'm the Employee Experience Specialist, as it says on the screen. And today I've got Jamuna and Thomas. Give us a wave. Yeah, you go. We're actually all in the same office. We're about 20 meters apart. So today, just briefly, we're just going to take you through a little bit about Powerco as a company and some of the opportunities we've got here for graduates, interns. And then instead of me talking at you all the time, we thought we'd just do a quick Q&A with Jamuna and Thomas, just to see why they're here at Powerco, how they got here, what they enjoy. So yeah, so who are we? Everybody can read a screen. So we're a pretty big distribution company. We distribute electricity and gas across the North Island, over 1 million customers. Those of you in Auckland, you'll know Vector. So Vector are our equivalent. What do? We own lots of stuff. So we've got about $2 billion worth of assets. That's everything from wires and cables and poles and substations and gas pipes. Best way to think about it is we do all the engineering stuff in the background. We own all these assets, but everything out in the field is done by our contractors. So people like Downer and North Power and Electrics. So Downer were on here earlier. So they're the guys in the field doing the work for us. Currently, we've got over 500, probably nearer 550 employees spread across our offices across the North Island. So what do? Like we said, we're an electricity and a gas distribution company. You can see on the slide there, we're the middle section of both of these pipelines, if you like. So we're not a generator. We don't do transmission of power. We do the distribution, so we take it to people's houses, basically. Network's big. Biggest network in New Zealand by line length. So again, you can read all the numbers there, but we do pretty much about half the North Island for electricity and about a third of the North Island for the gas network. So what can we offer? So we do, like most of the companies on here today, we do summer internships. So we take about 12 to 15 summer interns each year, and they're spread across all our offices. So our main office is in New Plymouth, with another large office over in Tauranga, Palmerston North, and we've got our gas office down in Wellington as well. So those internships are spread right across a variety of teams. So I think the photo there of the interns was a couple of years ago. So they're spread right across teams from HR to finance to engineering and network transformation and IT. So the internships, they are for 12 weeks. They go from November through February. Again, pretty standard for the industry. So yep, come in November, we give you a couple of weeks off over Christmas, and then you come back in February. What do? So they are involved in real projects. You do get to work with the real project managers. You get to make a difference, basically. So you'll see the bottom photo there is some of our interns out on site with one of our engineers. Why else do it? Well, it looks great on your CV. When we're looking for people for our graduate program, it's always good to see that candidates have done an internship, not necessarily here, but at other companies within the utilities environment. And applications will open in July, so they're not open at the moment, but keep an eye on our website and our social networks. You'll see when they're advertised. So past that, what do? So graduate engineering program. So this is where Thomas and Jamuna came into us. So we take about 3 or 4 graduate engineers a year. So nowhere near the 30 or 40, as you heard earlier, of some of the bigger companies. But for us, 3 or 4 a year is just about the right number. They're all based up in New Plymouth in Taranaki, where we're all talking to you today from. So the program lasts about 3 years, or it does last 3 years. And within that 3 years, our graduates go on about 15-week rotations through numerous teams within Powerco. Idea of that is 3 years is probably one of the longer graduate programs you'll hear about, but that's because we've got so many teams to get our graduates through, basically. So they'll go through many places, from design and protection, all the way through to service delivery, and going into our network operations center, working with the controllers there, and also get out in the field and work with those contractors I spoke about earlier. So again, involved in real projects, you'll work alongside some of the most experienced engineers within the industry, always keen to share their knowledge and nurture that talent coming through. We're part of Engineering NZ, sort of professional development program. So that means we encourage all our graduates, obviously, towards getting their chartered status, and we'll pay for our employees' memberships of them as well. And applications are actually open at the moment for our graduate program. This year we're doing it slightly differently. Traditionally, we've only taken electrical engineers. This year we're opening it up to mechanical and civil engineers as well. So just opening that pool of people, basically. So again, applications are online until about the 24th of June. So if this works, we will see if we can share this video.
We are looking for bright people like you to sit in a chair like this, at a desk like this. Well, maybe not this desk, as that's Michael's desk. Michael is a postgraduate from Canterbury. He is part of the Powerco postgraduate program. Say hi, Michael.
Hi.
Tell us about yourself, Michael.
So I grew up in Wanaka, down in the South Island in Central Otago, and have recently moved to Taranaki. Since moving to Taranaki, I've tried to meet a few people through sports. That was a great success. So I play hockey and basketball. Most Saturday nights I get out into town and have a few drinks and do some karaoke and have a few laughs. In Taranaki, I quite often spend a lot of time at the beach and at rivers. I've been doing quite a few different hikes around the region recently. There's heaps of cultural events every year, such as the Festival of Lights, WOMAD and Tropfest. So the work-life balance at Powerco is pretty great. Compared to the university days, I find I have a lot more free time than I ever used to.
Thanks, Michael. You do work though, don't you?
Yeah, let's go and see. The best part about my job is the freedom that I have within the grad program to sort of pick and choose the projects that I want to work on. A lot of the other engineers are locked down with their business as usual. Currently, I've been through 3 different teams. They're the planning, design and strategy teams. Within those teams, I've done quite a few different projects, and with them I've had lots of guidance from the senior engineers to help me along the way. Usually they don't get to do the interesting projects I have. Additionally, in the future, I'm going to be going through 2 more teams. They're the protection team and the service delivery team. During the grad program, you're also paired up with a mentor, and they help you with all your projects if you ever have any problems with them, and give you guidance on how to improve and what you should be looking out for, and really help me develop to become a well-rounded engineer.
So if you want to be like Michael, no, not that Michael, the other Michael. There we go. And eat your lunch here, or here, meet interesting people, become part of the team to power the future of New Zealand through the delivery of safe, reliable and efficient energy. Powerco. Apply now at powerco.co.nz.
Cool. All right, we'll stop that one there. Cool. So that I see I made a bit of a cameo appearance in some of those videos, which is pretty nice. Cool. So we'll probably, I think we've got about 5 minutes, something like that. I'm sure Phil will correct us if not. So what we'll probably do is just go through a few questions with Thomas and Jamuna, if that's cool. So we'll start with Thomas. So Thomas, can you share with us maybe what you studied and how you ended up here working at Powerco? Obviously, yeah, we know you came through our intern program into our graduate program. So yeah, if you could just fill us in on that, that would be great.
Cool, Chris, can you hear me? Cool. Kia ora koutou. I'm Thomas. I study electrical engineering from Canterbury University. In the year of 2020, I applied the summer internship at Powerco and got into the power assist fleets as an intern. Then later in the year, I applied for the graduate program, and now I'm here at Powerco.
Awesome, good stuff. And Jamuna, how did you end up here in the wonderful Powerco in the Taranaki?
Maybe mic settings.
We'll carry it. We'll let Jamuna see if she can sort that out.
Yeah.
Which means you're in the spotlight, Thomas. All right. So
no worries. Always doing that.
So I don't know if you can recall back along. How did you find sort of applying and the recruitment process all the way from seeing it advertised to coming to work here at Powerco? How did you find that?
I think that's probably one of the best experience, to be honest. You know, for many of the jobs, they ask your CV and cover letter, then they still ask you to fill out lines of those details in those things. Why do you think you are best for the role? Those information in my cover letters, and I have to spend half an hour to do that out of my busy university schedule. So Powerco is just click information, hand it in, and a few really multiple choice questions. So got them down under 5 minutes. So that's probably the best experience I ever had. Then and after that, it's just quick and clear conversations for interview and screening process. So I've to be honest, I think it's a very good experience.
Cool.
Yep.
Thanks for that, Thomas. I'll just say in addition to that, for anybody listening or watching today, interview experiences should not be scary. Then it's not supposed to be be to break people down or make them cry or anything like that. Anything you've heard of. It's more just so we can get to know people, get to know their experiences, what makes them tick, and how Powerco can help them in the future with their careers. So I don't know if Jamuna's, have you fixed it? No, she hasn't.
No.
That's all right. Don't worry. Cool. So we'll carry on with you, Thomas. So maybe as we're talking about culture and that sort of thing, how would you describe the culture here at Powerco?
I think it's pretty culturally diverse. I've always worked with people from different backgrounds and say different ethnicity, different languages they speak. But I think it's a really diverse place, just like probably many other New Zealand organizations. But I really enjoy people have different mindset and cultures, and I think we have sort of some bit of events like this, say the spicy dish competitions, and some of the others ones I really enjoy. So I think culturally is very friendly, and people understand the culture. People have different backgrounds, and they respect each other. So I'm really comfortable here. Cool. As you can tell, Chris.
Yes, indeed. We're lucky to have you.
Oh yeah!
Yay!
Finally.
There you go.
Yep.
She's online. Cool. So maybe if we just flick back. So how have you found your time here, Jamuna? Is she gone again? I'll carry on with you then, Thomas. So how have you found your time here? What do you enjoy most about working at Powerco?
I think the people and the opportunities. We have a lot of, say, industry leaders who's very knowledgeable in the electricity supply industry. So I really appreciate that, and they can help me to understand the problems by spending half an hour like on a Friday afternoon to explain that to me. So it's really, the no shame to ask questions, and they really help me out. I really enjoy that. And the opportunities, I'm currently doing the projects, sort of not really a part of my rotation, but You know, my manager Mike said, oh, you know, it's some of the interest, we have some of the problems that we're facing, and if you're interested, you go for it, as long as you do still carry out the other tests as part of your development. So yeah, so the people and opportunities.
Awesome. Great stuff. And I suppose finally, we're on our last minute. So very last question. Jamuna, can you hear us? Can you talk? You talking?
Oh,
Still can't hear you.
No,
That's
no.
cool. So Thomas, very last question before we go. And I'm going to pick up from what the panelists were talking about earlier.
Yep.
If you go back in time and tell your younger self something, or what piece of advice would you give your younger self, knowing what you know now?
I suppose there's a lot of advice I would give myself, but one of the things as a professional engineer, I would say myself, say 3 years ago, is we really need to understand the core problem and the question that you're solving. You know, there's too many times we heard about these terms and problems that we're solving. We know how to use the formula, but in the end, we don't know what's said, and you just eventually, you know, you still didn't understand it until you come across that again. So, you know, when the students in the university, when they have a problems, so just spend, say, 10 minutes or 15 minutes chat with the lecturers. I'm so sorry, what's that? What's H3 bushing? What's winding on the transformer? What do? They will quickly, you know, help you understand everything. And, you know, it's fairly quick. And I think industry people really like that. So you really understand the problem, not just, you know, you can pass a test exam, but eventually you still need to solve these problems. So that would be the suggestion I would be giving myself.
Cool. Thank you very much for that, Thomas.
Yep.
Are we out of time, Philip, by the look of it? Are we on time?
We're on time, not overtime, but on time.
Look at that.
Perfect.
So,
Right.
well, thank you for showing your face, Jamuna. That was nice of you. Thanks for talking to us, Thomas. And
No
yeah,
worries.
thanks to
Beautiful.
the rest of you guys for watching in.
Pleasure. Thanks for jumping on. That wouldn't be a typical Zoom call without some technical difficulties, so it's pretty standard these days. But appreciate your sharing. That was awesome. Thank you.
All good.
Cool. Thank you.